Whoa, Ben, take a fucking Valium or something.
And he does better than some professional actors who are told to sound scared.
Uh,
He actually sounds worried. Well, ish. Within reason. I'd believe it. I spent way too long exploring. I think it was that room or another one, just like stacking those boxes to climb things, because it's just a habit I have in games like this that I have to stack and check every fucking cranny vertically.
mm-hmm.
I kept thinking there was a card there. Because I remember there's a card in between these locker room areas.
Oh yeah, you're going after the cards in this playthrough, aren't you?
Yeah, I made sure to double check that I got all the cards from the last section, and I did.
Did you do that like before or after recording?
I did that before recording. Because I'm not going to put that all in the recording. That's way too long.
yeah.
There's probably guides as well on like finding all the cards anyway that we better to refer to.
There's gonna be guides once Underhell comes to Steam. I mean, it got greenlit.
Oh yeah.
Well, I remember there's on the wiki it tells you all the locations, but not really a guide.
Mm-hmm.
I was tempted to make a video guide showing all the cards where they were, but I didn't really feel like it.
I'm just glad that the cards aren't randomized.
That would be
I mean,
in the ass.
That would be awful.
I was going to ask if they were, because I was like, yeah, that would be the worst.
All right, so what that jump cut was, because I decided to backtrack for no reason, and I have no clue why I did that in the recording, so I just cut that out. I think it was because I thought I missed a card.
Just sudden paranoia hits you.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got to just kick this zombie's head in, but I might have missed a fucking playing card. If you think about this from Jake's perspective, it is a very bizarre and out-of-character choice. I think you should roleplay him better.
I always thought it would be...
like stacking several helmets on top of yourself?
That is totally a Jake thing.
Totally a Jake thing.
He was a member of SWAT. That's Special Weapons and Tactics, and that is a very special tactic.
Also, I just kicked a zombie with the door.
Also, he lives with his dead wife.
I always thought it would be interesting to imagine what Jake Hockfield would do if it was like in the same way Freeman's mind would be made.
Oh man,
Jake Hockfield's mind.
There are derivatives of that for everything. So
I imagine that it would be a lot like a normal Let's Play, for at least for the house. You know, just minus the scare cam, that stupid gimmick.
But the thing is, like, there is Shepard's Mine, there's Barney's Mine, and there's a bunch of other ones that... I mean, I watched a bit of Shepard's Mine, and he was okay.
Oh yeah, the guy that did Shepard's Mine recently commented on my Clown.wmv video.
Oh, that's cool.
And the guy who made Barney's Mind actually did an intro for the final episode, although it was really cringeworthy now. It was very terrible. It was made in Gary's mod.
How do you Let's Play Gary's mod? Unless you were, like, doing a run through the Half-Life campaign.
People have managed to do Let's Plays in Gary's mod.
I'm not surprised that people just stick a part name to anything.
Not only that, but the guy that I'm speaking of has found out how a way to do an episode of it every day. His name is like Venturian Tale.
Now that is beautiful.
Now
that was just cruel, actually.
Jeez, Lolly, aim down the sights. Holy shit.
They put them on the top of guns for reasons. No,
I mean, you've seen me play, Lolly. I wouldn't be caught dead missing like that.
Well, my mentality was, I have a whole bunch of bullets, I'm going to use them however I want.
I've earned these bullets.
To be fair, like, by the end of Underhell, like, I never once ran out of pistol ammo. I never even exhausted half of my supply of pistol ammo. Because, like, I grew up playing games like Resident Evil and all that stuff where you're supposed to conserve ammo and all that. So I'm used to, like, using melee as my primary sort of weapon.
This part is a very big pain in the ass.
It's really bad in fucking Resident Evil 4 where you want to be meleeing all the time because it's so goddamn fun that way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's this part.
Resident Evil 4 isn't much of a survival horror, though. That's not to say that it's not a good game. It's just, like, I think it's the best Resident Evil, personally, but to call it a survival horror game would kind of be a stretch.
Yeah. Wait, what did you just do, Lawley?
I was touching the cabinet and it makes locking sounds.
Oh, okay. For a second, because I kind of zoned out on the gameplay for a second, thinking about Resi 4, I thought you did some really secret bullshit which involved touching that a certain amount of times to make a playing card spawn on the map, and I was like, that's beyond archaic bullshit.
Who the hell puts a playing card on top of a map, anyway? Didn't the hermit say that rats went off with him? I mean, those are some pretty tidy rats.
Also, I had to fast forward this part because it's really hard trying to find a thing in this.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, it's better than just making the viewers watch.
Yeah, originally this footage
backtracking.
Yeah, the footage that I fast forwarded was originally like 20 minutes long.
Oh shit, dude.
This was actually the area where I stopped playing on my old PC and have yet to get back. It's kind of like I jumped the fence over here and I walked around and I know this game is too well designed to be locked off, but I just kind of thought, okay, I'll get back to this and find my way out. And seeing Lawley here makes me think, okay, it's not so bad. I got kind of out of my wits' end searching for stuff. I didn't have 4 times speed.
That was 2 times speed.
Well, neither.
I didn't have that either.
Did Wally.
Wait, no, that actually might have been 4 times speed. I'm not entirely sure. It was sped up 200%.
It's sped up. Who cares how much it's sped up?
Well, okay, Jake. No need to show off.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, nobody's watching you, Jake. Nobody's impressed.
Your code.
Well, maybe someone's watching you. You never know. Maybe someone's sightjacking you.
I like how Jake.
You have a director following you.
Also, I love how Jake was just walking, like crouch walking like that for no reason.
Yeah.
He learned from Counter-Strike just the way to move around.
Yeah.
So he's part of your little group.
Little group.
As a matter of fact, he is. Another guard? I don't remember.
Also, for some reason, without the film grain in this, the cutscenes seem a lot more awkward, and I don't know why.
He's new here, and he has no idea what's going on in here.
Well, it's kind of weird in general having cutscenes like this in a Source Engine game, which, like, most Source Engine games I think of, they do the cutscenes and you stay in your character's vision. You have agency at all times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of like the models these characters use, like I recently started playing Cinematic Mod 2013.
You poor guy.
Yeah, I played about 30 minutes and then I found
Oh,
graffiti.
it's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad as long as you don't use the replacement models.
I used the replacement
okay.
models except for Alex and Mossman. I kept them default.
I mean, admittedly, the level design in Cinematic Mod is pretty impressive graphically, except there are some weird design choices, like, that clown with the dick on the wall?
I was about to mention that.
Yeah.
Just like 30 minutes in, and then I'm just minding my own business in the canal area, and then suddenly there's a clown with his dick out honking a horn.
I mean, what the
Actually,
fuck?
you're selling me on Cinematic Mod. This is a Half-Life, campaign, Half-Life 2 single-player mod, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It changes the base campaign.
No, it doesn't change it. It's just essentially just an HD remake.
Okay, so what it does is it
how do you explain
changes
the clown with his dick out?
You don't. It's just kind of
Fuck
there.
if I know, it's just graffiti.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant there was actual 3D modeled clown is just there.
that would be hilarious, actually.
I would accept this. I would hope that it's a Breen character swap.
It would be surreally funny. I would play that.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Breen, the guy who did voice actor, the guy who voiced Breen died. I can't.
Several-
I always think about that.
I think he mentioned that already in an
Yeah.
earlier part.
Oh yeah, we did. That was when we were talking about the warden who was using the same model that Breen used.
Right.
If they had to start scavenging already by this point, how long have you been out?
I think
That
I don't
yeah,
know.
you know, I think we brought that up once. Like, how
Yeah, I
long
know.
was Jake out? I mean, it's like he gets into a prison fight, wakes up, and suddenly everyone's dead, or quote unquote dead.
The level
You
of
know what?
disrepair as well.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna call them zombies. I don't really think anybody gives a
Yeah.
shit.
Watch out, you're gonna piss off the entire Walking Dead fan base.
Oh,
They're
fuck 'em.
walkers, okay? And fuck that.
Yeah, they're walkers.
They're runners-ish.
No, runners are from like the Dawn of the Dead remake, I think,
If you watch
or,
like, the
or
first episode...
28
if you-
Days Later.
Yeah, 28 Days Later popularized Infected, I think.
You know, I don't like the infected kind of zombies. You put it best. The Romero zombies were kind of like the embodiment of death.
It was
Like-
slow and you could hold it off for a while, but it always overwhelms, kind of. And that's
Right.
not me. That's like Simon Pegg, his way of putting it in an interview, which was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. That line of thought works for me.
Yeah. Oh God, what is he looking at?
He's looking at his radio.
He's got one of those braced ones, but I'm just
Holy
just
shit,
admiring the
Jake.
shadow work.
Holy shit, Jake, that's hella gay.
One of my favorite
Why do
little
you
touches
have a
in-
boner?
one of my favorite little touches in the Uncharted series is if you shine a light in someone's eyes, they shield them. They just kind of like casually raise their arm, like, "Stop it, you dickhead."
Alex in episode 1 does that. I don't know if she does it in episode 2. I think it's only episode 1.
Yeah, that room over there. Check, but it's not working. Not enough power? I don't know, but it's not working. Damn.
Every time I play that, I don't like the line where he just says, "I don't know, but it's not working." It just kind of seems out of place.
Who cares?
No.
I mean, like, it's more that they're put into a situation where they've got fucking mean corpses running after them. I wouldn't be in the exactly right state of mind either.
I like how you I like how you just describe them as mean corpses. You know, just not like ones that are out to eat your flesh and just try and maul you to death.
They're mean.
That's
They
pretty
hit
mean.
you.
I mean, like, that's pretty mean. Like,
They don't seem to bite anybody. They just fucking beat the shit out of you. If that's not mean, then I don't know what is.
I kind of like and don't like the God, I've played too much zombie stuff and watched too much and read too much of it. But basically, I like the way it's kind of handled in State of Decay, where it's actually like an airborne flu-like virus that some people are just kind of immune to.
I've never
that's-
played State of Decay. Is it any good?
It's fun. I'd say wait for it on deal because it's more focused on scavenging and such rather than fighting zombies. But god damn it, you will fight a lot of zombies anyway.
It's really buggy from what I remember. I was watching a Vinesauce stream in which Vinny was driving a car, and he
Oh,
managed
it's
to,
buggy.
we call it, fuse the car with a gigantic gas station sign.
Fuse says it all if you had to search for that word. I've had glitches with it. I've had zombies running through walls. I've got stuck in level geometry, stuff like that. But it's still fun. It's just kind of...
You know, I'd take mean zombies over the ones that bite, because then it raises that question, like, okay, the main character just got bitten maybe thousands of times throughout the player's playthrough of the game. So, why is it that suddenly when TK gets bitten by a zombie, uh-oh,
Oh, but that bite was canon.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like... Chuck is too manly to zombify. And I think I just pissed off every Frank fan because he was apparently not manly enough to not zombify.
I
really
think,
liked at
I
the
don't
end
think that
of,
Zombrex was a thing in Dead Rising 1. I think that was like the story of how Zombrex came to
Yeah.
be.
I just like the fact that Frank is kind of surprised, like, wait, I've been bitten hundreds of times. That might have been a
Yeah.
factor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been so long since I played Dead Rising 1, but yeah.
I haven't played Dead Rising 1 in a while because I just don't feel like going back to consoles these days after playing PC enough.
That guy is so fucking blazed, holy shit. He was out of it.
It was like, yeah, man. You know, zombies and stuff.
He probably thinks he's gonna come down from this high and there's gonna be no zombies and a bunch of prisoners are gonna be dead and he's gonna be disappointed.
Did you just try and kill him?
Yeah, I did.
You're not doing a very good job, he's still kicking. Not to the same extent as you, but he's still going.
Ha.
I like how they're still just casually talking and then they're also fighting at the same time.
They're already over this zombie stuff. They
Yeah, you know,
Jake's reputation as well.
If I saw that face, I'd be like, yeah, you know, it's just zombies. I wouldn't be like, you know, terrified or anything.
The guy looks so casual about being in a zombie apocalypse. I trust him by my side. He's like, well, if he's not too scared, then he probably knows what he's doing.
Yep. How would you not hear that behind you, Lolly?
I don't know, because I even had the volume up really loud as well.
First rule of video games is situational awareness, which, speak of the devil, you recorded this and called it situational awareness.
Although the main reason I called it situational awareness was not because of what I did, it was because what the NPC does in a few seconds. Because I just hear slapping, like one of the zombies just slapping an NPC for about a minute.
That's another thing. I'd trust a guy who could take several hits from a zombie like that.
The strange thing is they're actually invincible at this point right now.
Wait a second. I thought that you said that they could die.
Yeah, they can.
Or at
it's
least
just, they can die, it's just they're invincible in this section.
You sure it's not just kind of like Half-Life 2's kind of companion AI where they are ridiculously strong but they can die?
Oh, man. I have a video up on my channel called Rebels versus Combine, I think. And it's like, it shows 4 rebels going up against 50 elite Combine soldiers with pulse rifles, right? And only one of the rebels dies from that combat.
That video actually inspired me a few months ago to see if I can make the NPCs and like the AI a little bit more balanced and overpowered at the same time. And it ended up like the Combine could kick the rebels' asses within about like a few shots.
Well, considering that the 7-hour war was a thing, that would be canon. Or at least it should be canon.
Because if the 7-hour war was a thing and like the Half-Life 2 AI were also like contributing to that, all they needed was like about, you know, maybe 10 rebels against a few thousand Combine.
Yeah. All you needed was a long hallway and a man with a fair bit of ammo on the other end. And you could have just funneled the 7-hour war into a corridor and won. It would have taken more than 7 hours, though. Their pathfinding's kind of terrible sometimes, so getting into the corridor would have been something.
Speaking of terrible pathfinding, there's a really fun survival-esque map for Underhell that you can get off of the mod page.
Oh yeah, I still need to play
sometimes, it's really fun. I recommend it. It's quote unquote built for co-op, but you have to go through a bunch of like hoops just to get co-op working in this game.